Promoters, here is a chance to boost your event or fete with MTV's irresistible television advertising specials. Book now and be wowed with party deals and good advertising coverage. Call our sales and marketing department on 440-8171 or via WhatsApp on 455-5718. You can also send an email at mtvmarketinggd@gmail.com. Terms and conditions apply.
CaribJet, the most experienced travel agency company in Grenada, serving our clients and businesses for over 40 years. IATA accredited, we issue tickets on 280 airlines, representatives for Condor, the German airlines, and main agents for Virgin, KLM and Air France. We're specialists to the Middle East. Walk in to our ticket office at Maurice Bishop Highway, call 439-4444, WhatsApp 534-7755 or visit caribjet.com.
Scene 2, take 1 and action.
Situationship, no relationship.
I Am Mass. I Am Mass, the movie, Netflix banned. On Saturday, July 8th, the epic movie saga will continue. Dates open 10 p.m. Showtime midnight, National Stadium. But it's more mass. I Am Mass 2023, the movie, Netflix banned.
The owner of Mindy is seeking the support in finding her. Mindy has a pink collar and was last seen in Bayview Drive for Judy. She is microchipped and has a green tattoo from spading under her tummy. A reward is being offered for anyone who has information on Mindy's whereabouts. You can contact 406-6525 or 538-40.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Monday, the 26th of June, with the news headlines coming to you in association with Quartz Grenada Limited.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Coming up in this evening's news, forensic pathologist autopsy reveals manual strangulation in John T. Robinson's death. The Ministry of Agriculture to develop the local CMOS industry. Kaysen St. Louis and Soraya Scott crowned Mr. and Miss St. Paul's. And in sport, successful tennis tournament that was hosted over the weekend. We'll have details to those and other stories for you. Look to, of course, at the public forecast information. So right after the break, stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to your compliments Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. An independent autopsy report revealed what caused the death of 24-year-old Josiah John T. Robinson. According to the report, Robinson died as a result of manual strangulation with additional injuries to the cervical spine. The autopsy was conducted by pathologist Dr. Hubert Daisley of Trinidad. The body of John T. Robinson was discovered on BBC Beach on Sunday, the 18th of June. Robinson, while indulging in what he loved, which was singing, had left the bar where he was with friends. Upon the bar being closed, he was not seen. However, his body was later found the next day. With the latest development, a murder investigation is now open. Meanwhile, many have questioned why two pathologists were needed to determine John T.'s cause of death. However, Dr. Terence Marichaud highlighted the difference between a local pathologist and a forensic pathologist. According to him, Grenada does not have a forensic pathologist, and any other further testing on a body would therefore have to be conducted in a different country.
The factors that would lead to a wrong diagnosis would depend on the competency of the pathologist himself and the investigations that would have been carried out on the body to determine the cause and the manner of death. And most of the time, pathologists that will come from the outside to work with us here in Grenada. I think we have a local one now, but most of the time, over the years, the pathologist would come from Cuba.
That was Dr. Terence Marichaud stating what can lead to a varying pathologist report. He says a local pathologist is a medical healthcare who examines bodies and body tissues, unlike a forensic pathologist whose examination is more in-depth.
Lab investigations, lab tests, blood tests, things like that, to properly come up with a diagnosis of what injury this person has, what disease this person has, and things of that nature. So it's ready to determine the disease, the cause of the disease, and that kind of thing. So that is done on a regular basis at a general hospital, if you have, again...
According to Dr. Marichaud, while the country does not have a forensic pathologist, it is not essentially needed because of the country's low murder rate.
I don't know if it's important to have one on island, except, if you're a country, for example, that had a higher incidence of unsolved murders, for example, like in the case of this person who recently was found on BBC Beach. If there's a suspicion of murder, then you'd want to have a forensic pathologist. But a regular pathologist could handle most, cases of injury or disease or even just regular deaths. They will do an autopsy, open up the body, and come up with conclusions based on their findings.
He further explained when a forensic pathologist is required.
But again, when there's mystery surrounding a death, whenever there's criminal investigation, something that would possibly end up in court, possibly end up with somebody being charged for that person's murder.
Nikita Hostin, MTV News.
Charles Roderick St. Andrews, who was charged back in 2006 with the offense of defilement on a female under the age of 16, was found guilty on Friday.
After hours of deliberation, the jury found Charles Roderick guilty for the offense of defilement on a female under the age of 16 and is scheduled to be sentenced on the 21st September 2023. The ruling took place at the High Court No. 1 on Friday. Roderick was represented by criminal attorney Anselm Clouden, who gave MTV News the history of the case.
Well, there was an allegation, it was an allegation. The jury has found him guilty, so it is said that during the construction of a house for the complainant's aunt, he had intercourse with her when she was alone. He denies it, of course, and there's evidence weren't all that clear. Our defense was that it never happened. But the evidence and the jury, we argued on certain principles and the like, and they returned a verdict of guilty. That's in essence.
Clouden says this case started back in 2006, and after 15 years, it recently went to trial. Clouden shared his frustration as it relates to the delay of the case.
Well, that's one of the reasons, I think, delay. It happened in 2006, and he's brought to trial in 2023. Now, that delay has caused great prejudice to the case in the context that witnesses' memory would have worn, and you can't quite remember events as accurate as you would if it was tried more recently.
Roderick has been on bail for more than 17 years up until last Friday, when he was remanded to His Majesty the prison after being found guilty. According to Clouden, there is a possibility that there will be an appeal. However, Clouden says the backlog in the case can be a contributing factor on the outcome. Nikita Hostin, MTV News.
The National Democratic Congress, NDC, continues to celebrate its first year in office, with Prime Minister and political leader Deacon Mitchell making guest appearances on a number of local television and radio programs. Speaking on Sunday afternoon on a radio program, NDC Heartbeat, Prime Minister Mitchell spoke of the importance of developing the youth's potentials. According to him, not being born into wealth should not stop them from advancing.
Because I think one of the things that we need to make people recognize is that some of the greatest achievers in the world were not born into wealthy or special families. They didn't have any special advantages in life. They basically came ordinary men and women who worked hard, who exploited whatever gifts or talents they have. And they're the ones who usually change and inspire the world. I mean, oftentimes, if you're born into wealth, there's nothing for you to do other than perhaps spend the money.
According to the Prime Minister, there must be some inspiration for them.
Enjoy it. So the inspiration, I think, for average citizens has to be that you can change your life. You can change your family's life, and you can change Grenada's life by extension. And if we look at all of the people who've done well, in whatever field of endeavor in Grenada, you would see that they are ordinary people just like me and you. And so it's important for us to send that message to our kids so that they don't despair about the physical circumstances they may find themselves growing up in, or the lack of means, and to just let them know that if they work hard, if they take a long-term view, they can achieve incredible things. And oftentimes when the success comes, it comes as an avalanche, and you don't even realize it. So it's important, I think, for young people in particular to be inspired and to be encouraged to work hard.
The Ministry of Legal Affairs, Labour and Consumer Affairs is pleased to announce the appointment of Ms. Wynette Baker as Chief Parliamentary Counsel to head the legislative drafting portfolio of the Attorney General's Chambers. The Legislative Drafting Division is charged with the responsibility of drafting laws and other statutory instruments for the Government of Grenada. The division works closely with the ministries and departments to translate policy into law. This arm of office of the Attorney General also renders legal opinions on matters requiring statutory interpretation, interfaces closely with the Houses of Parliament, and it also ensures timely publication of new laws in the Government Gazette. Ms. Baker has over 13 years of experience as a legislative drafter with the Attorney General's chambers and has a distinguished career as an enthusiastic and devoted member of the legal profession. She holds a Bachelor of Law degree from the University of London, a postgraduate certificate in legal practice at the bar from Manchester Metropolitan University, a post-baccalaureate diploma in legislative drafting from the Athabasca University, and a Master of Laws degree with concentration in legislative studies from the University of Ottawa. She is also a member of the Honourable Society of Lincoln's Inn and was called to the bar in England and Wales. Attorney General and Minister for Legal Affairs Claudette Joseph said, and I quote here, "I'm confident that Ms. Baker will ably lead the impressive and progressive legislative agenda of government. As we rebuild and record the legal function of government, we are thrilled to have a daughter of the soil fill this critical position that was last filled in 2011, unquote. Kaysen St. Louis representing Laborie and Soraya Scott representing Mardi Gras crowned Mr. and Mrs. St. Paul's. The charitable event actually took place on Saturday at the St. Paul's Community Center with the aim of raising funds to help feed the less fortunate.
The charitable event was held on Saturday, 24th of June 2023. All the funds raised will be used to give back to communities and assist the less fortunate. Casey and St. Louis representing Laborie and Soraya Scott representing Mardi Gras was crowned Mr. and Mrs. St. Paul's.
My role model is my mother. She has taught me to be respectful to others regardless of their background or position in life.
Pick up because they should be their most beautiful selves. But in reality, her motto is everybody in life needs makeup because they
CEO of the Reach Out Foundation and promoter of the event, Kashi Joseph, says despite some hiccups, the event was a success. MTV News also interviewed some of the participants.
I am feeling excited and good as I practice hard and I was in practice every time.
My name is Zuri Briggs and I won second place. I feel excited that I won second place and I'll be able to participate in other beauty pageants. My preparation was very easy. By the help of my mom, I got success in everything. My mom is the only one I love right now.
My name is Kaysen St. Louis and I came first. I feel happy.
Here are some highlights of the show.
Though I know he would find me. I hope. Black Lives Matter. How many more hearts need to shatter before we turn the page and start a new chapter? This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. 'Cause there won't be no peace
Foundation is a non-profit organization created to assist communities and serving the less fortunate. The Reach Out Foundation was founded 5 years ago. Nikita Houston, MTV News.
And that's the first segment of the news for Monday, right here on MTV. We'll be back with you after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Important announcement for CIBC First Caribbean customers. Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited invites prospective customers to collect their debit and credit cards, checkbooks, night depository keys and bags, and deposit books at its distribution center located at the GV Steel Conference Room, number 14 Church Street, St. George's. The center will be open from June 19th to July 8th, 2023, operating from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Mondays to Fridays, and from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. You will be required to present a valid photo ID for collection. To avoid any delay in your service, we encourage you to visit Co-op Bank's distribution center at your earliest convenience between June 19th and July 8th, 2023. We look forward to welcoming you home.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Scene 2, take 1, and action.
Situationship, no relationship.
I Am Mass. I Am Mass, the movie, Netflix banned. On Saturday, July 8th, the epic movie saga will continue. Dates open 10 p.m., showtime midnight, National Stadium. But it's more mass. I Am Mass 2023, the movie, Netflix banned.
This is MTV News for the second segment, coming to you in association with Grenada Cooperative Bank.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards. Tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information, or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. Acknowledging the potential of the local CMOS industry, the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives continues to be supported by the United Nations Food and Nutrition Organization, FAO, as it develops strategies that will guide the industry and improve the export of this commodity.
On the heels of visits in May for the purpose of gaining a first-hand perspective on the different CMOS farms and understanding the specific challenges faced by the farmers, a validation consultation was held on Thursday as the findings were presented to stakeholders from the industry. The findings reveal that the current production base is small, but the opportunity exists to improve the industry. Sharing more on this was FAO's Value Chain Development Specialist, Charlene Prosser.
The current production base is small yet growing due to the interest of the farmers engaged in CMOS production. CMOS presents some advantages for farmers, being a business that requires minimal investment, quick startup phase, fast production cycle, and can be profitable in a short amount of time. We will discuss further on the production aspects. And the majority of the demand is in the purchasing of dried CMOS. However, CMOS gels are an emerging product due to more ease of use and convenience for the consumer to make into CMOS beverages. CMOS products can be found in restaurants, hotels, and supermarkets as seen in the map, and many customers and buyers may purchase directly from the farmer. Exports of the dried form of CMOS continue to travel to destinations in the Caribbean, with a large volume going to Trinidad, and to international markets such as the U.S., Canada, Europe, and England, where large Caribbean diaspora population resides.
Also making a presentation on Thursday was Umardath Maharaj, agricultural economist at the FAO. Maharaj presented a situational analysis of the regional CMOS market and made a comparison to Grenada.
And we want to improve on the conversion from wet to dry, right? And, just as a quick recap, site selection and marine conditions, other factors are also important, species selection, all of these we mentioned just briefly. So, with this expected or anticipated yield that we want to be working towards, therefore, these 3 farm sizes should be, we should be expecting yields of 39,000 pounds, 150,000 pounds, up to 8 million pounds of wet seamoss from such a large farm, right?
Having placed this industry as a priority, fisheries technical expert within the Department of Fisheries, Justin Rennie, explained that the continued support from the international organization will help the ministry to create an enabling environment for Grenada to grow a resilient and sustainable seamoss industry. Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hoston.
To close off the month of activities for Deaf Awareness Month, the School for the Deaf collaborated with the Ministry of Health to have a health walk on Sunday, the 25th of June, from Latant to the Lassages playing field. Speaking more about this initiative was Leslie Ann Roberts, acting principal of the School for the Deaf.
Today we are closing off our Deaf Awareness Month activities with our health walk. So we are doing this walk today to bring awareness to the public of the need for the deaf to also be a part of the Grenada Shifts program, as well as to encourage the deaf community to take charge of their health.
Roberts spoke about some of the activities that they had throughout the month.
It is Deaf Awareness Month, and throughout the month we had different activities taking place. We started off with a sign language class. Prior to that, we had a church service, which is very important. We made sure that we acknowledge God at the start of our activities. And then we continued on with a workshop for the deaf community. And today we have our health walk, yeah?
Roberts expressed gratitude to the business community which supported their venture throughout the month, and also to those who came out to be a part of the walk itself. After 18-year-old Shakira Hippolyte's story that was aired on MTV News on Friday, the young woman says a number of individuals have reached out to her, including the Rosalind Charles Foundation, who raised over $1,055 together with community members, which assisted her in getting a new prosthetic leg. On Friday, during an interview with MTV News, Hippolyte from Rosalind St. Patrick asked the public to assist in purchasing a prosthetic leg, as the one she is currently using is broken. Hippolyte spoke on her journey thus far in seeing a new prosthetic leg.
Now, after the MTV people interviewed me, there's this man that came in contact with me and asked me a few questions. Basically, he wanted to know more about my situation and where I was from, etc. Now, he also mentioned to me that he has a friend that is willing to help me, and I should be expecting a call from her soon, named the Rosalind Foundation. Now, this lady has a bar and she hosts karaoke every Sunday, but she saw my story and she reached out to me and told me she's willing to help me. We came in contact, she got my number, she messaged me, told me what she wants to do for me. She told me she wants to host a karaoke for me on Sunday.
She says she was overwhelmed when individuals reached out to her to assist, and thanked the public and all who contributed thus far.
No, I'm very, very happy to know that there are people out there that are willing to help me in my condition. This really means a lot to me, because my parents don't have the money that is required to help me get a new prosthetic leg. Now, the second Good Samaritan that helped me to get this leg that is currently damaged and needs replacing, she promised to help me for the rest of my life, I should say. But due to financial problems, etc., she's unable to help me.
And that's the second segment of the news on MTV. It came to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank.
Big money, money, money.
3
$3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Money, money, money. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
At Quartz Optical, two are better than one. Be ready for any occasion with not one, but 2 pairs of complete eyewear. Choose from our wide range of fashionable brands. Buy one and get a second pair free. That's 2 pairs with no cash and pay later. Book your free eye exam today online at quartzoptical.com. 2 are better than one. Buy one, get one free. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Scene 2, take 1, and action.
Situationship, no relationship.
I Am Mass. I Am Mass, the movie. Netflix banned. On Saturday, July 8th, the epic movie saga will continue. Dates open 10 p.m. Showtime midnight. National Stadium. But it's more mass. I Am Mass 2023, the movie. Netflix banned.
Business in 3 comes to you in association with GIDC, empowering the Spice Isle.
MTV News Monday. In this week's edition of MTV's Business in 3, host Donella Hostin speaks with young female entrepreneur from St. Andrew, Emma Jessamy, about her business. That's EJ Handcrafted, making bags and pouches. Jessamy tells us the inspiration behind her creations.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to another edition of MTV's Business in 3, sponsored by the GIDC. Today we are speaking with Emma Jessamy, CEO of EJ Handcrafted. Welcome, Ms. Jessamy.
Thanks, you. Thank you.
So, Ms. Jessamy is going to tell us a little bit about her products, and I'm seeing some pretty stuff in front of me. So I'm excited to hear more about the products. So just tell the listeners and viewers about who Emma Jessamy is and why it is that you decided to embark on this entrepreneurship venture.
Hi, like she said, my name is Emma Jessamy and I am from Hope St. Andrews, the owner of EJ Handcrafted. I'm fairly new to the entrepreneurship business. I started last year. I just love being independent, being self-employed, so I decided to start my business. I make pouches, tote bags, beach bags, you name it. Most of my pouches are lined with waterproof canvas. They can be used for makeup, your toiletries, or if you just go in and hang out and you want to look fashionable. Not because your pouches are going in your bag, they have to look kind of stingy. It can also be pretty, look like cute and so on. So that's the next reason I started.
Okay. So just tell us how we can order your items and where we can get them, find them.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook, EJ Handcrafted, or you can call me from 537-9983. Prices also start from $20 to $70. They also have pouch sets that are $120, $150.
Okay, I do have another question for you. What is your inspiration? We have, many different colors and sizes and designs. What's your inspiration?
Really, I just wanted them to look cute, and a few persons called me and they say, okay, this is exactly what I want. So I source the material and I make it for them, and I also continue making it to sell also. So we have some that are customized, like example, a customer called me and asked me to make this for them, and then I just continue making it for sale. So that's how most of the bags started.
Well, there you have it, guys. We were speaking to Miss Emma Jessamy, the owner of EJ's Handcrafted. We have some beautiful bags and pouches here. So this is where we say goodbye to our viewers. Thank you for viewing MTV's Business in 3, sponsored by the GIDC. I am your host, Donna Colston.
It's the MTV Evening News. We have regional highlights coming up.
Business in 3 came to you in association with GIDC, empowering the Spy Side.
Do you have or plan to start a business or project in the agribusiness, tourism, health and wellness, ICT, or energy sectors? You too can qualify for investment incentives such as duty-free concessions, tax credits, and tax waivers and exemption. Just fill in the application form, submit all the relevant documents, and your application can be processed in as little as 7 days. It's that simple. Contact us today to know more about investment incentives.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Welcome back. This is the MTV Evening News, and we turn things over to Danessa Panchu for this evening's Regional Roundup.
This is the Regional Roundup for today. I am Danessa Panchu. In Antigua and Barbuda, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has said Antigua and Barbuda's economic future looks bright following its recent visit to the Twin Island nation. The IMF team, which was led by Emily Boz, visited Antigua and Barbuda from June 19th to 23rd, 2023, and met with government officials to discuss recent economic developments, economic outlook, and policy priorities. After the visit, Boz said Antigua and Barbuda's economic is on a liquid recovery path after a sharp decline during the pandemic. Antigua and Barbuda's growth for 2023 is projected to be 5.5%. The country's tourism sector is seeing significant growth as it reached approximately 98% of pre-pandemic levels during the first 4 months of 2023, with arrivals from the US and the UK taking the lead. Antigua and Barbuda's financial sector is in good position, with boards highlighting that it is stable and liquid, with non-performing loans declining gradually. In Trinidad and Tobago, local social media influencer Kevon Yank Boss Solomon was shot and killed in a car park of Trinity Mall on Saturday afternoon. About 4:30 p.m., Solomon was parking in a spot when gunmen shot the car he was driving, hitting both sides and breaking 2 windows. As the gunmen escaped, passersby stopped to take video footage of the bullet-riddled car as Solomon slumped over, bleeding in the driver's seat. On social media, the TikTok star and comedian promoted Ferry on Ferry 2, Come Sailing Pride, a boat ride that was expected to take place on Sunday night. And finally, in the region in Guyana, a unique presentation by pathology such as the human tail is not only rare in Guyana, but the world. A rare congenital anomaly that mostly presents immediately after birth or early childhood. There are less than 60 cases documented in the medical literature of caudal appendage or the human tail. On June 18, 2023, a medical team of Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, led by Chief Neurosurgeon Dr. Amanat Duki, successfully performed a procedure to remove the tail and reconstruct the spinal canal of a 10-day infant boy. The sophisticated technique that also required the protection of the patient's spinal nerves. The infant has since been discharged from the hospital. And that's it for this evening's regional roundup. I am Donessa Pantru.
It's the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. Sporting highlights are next.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more. With Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
GRENLEC Community Partnership Initiative.
We applied to GRENLEC for the construction of a new library at Dover Government School. We've given them a library space that is comfortable, that is homey, that has customized furniture, outfitted for a child who really wants to enjoy reading. I want to thank the Grenada Electricity Services. We could not have done it without you, and we look forward to continued partnership into the future.
GRENLEC, energizing our community.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
"13 NVQ certificates awarded to swim instructors." That story and more coming up in our sporting segment.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
We got stoves, cook it, fry it, bake it, stew it, poach it, eat it, drink it, slurp it. At Quartz, you can get it. We got fridges, slurp it, chill it, freeze it, store it, crisp it, pack it, and stack it. At Quartz, you can get it. Wash or dryer it, wash it, fluff it, spin it, dry it, clean it, fold it, wear it, assort it, and soak it. Rinse it, load it. SDA gon' make you blend it, crush it, toast it. At Quartz, you can get it.
A special evening to you now, sporting fans. Here's Donella Hostin with this evening's sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. It was a successful day on Saturday for the Grenada Tennis Association and an exciting day for the boys and girls who took part in the Junior Challenge Series 2 tennis tournament at the Tantine Tennis Court. President of the Grenada Tennis Association, Ali Drigo, said he was thankful for the great weather so that the boys and girls can get to show off their skills.
We've started off with the categories of the older students, the older participants, that is with the under 12 and under 14 participants. We have fewer numbers of those, so we've decided to go on with them first and then start with the juniors, the more junior players under 10. So far, a lot of the players who have participated so far are sort of new to the sport. And so there is a bit of room for improvement, but they are very enthusiastic. Some of them are showing great technique and willingness to learn and eagerness to learn. So we expect it to improve, but so far so good.
Drigo also spoke about the upcoming events the Grenada Tennis Association will be having.
All right, we have one more tournament for this Junior Challenge Series. We also have some national events coming up. We are looking forward to re-establishing a more consolidated program at the level of the primary schools and even the secondary schools. So yes, there's a lot more that we expected to carry out for tennis in Grenada.
Nazio John broke Kirani James's 200-meter national record in the prelims of the National Junior College Athletic Association Outdoor Championships with a time of 20.40 seconds before further lowering that time in the finals. Here are some highlights of that race. The 2019 and 2022 javelin throw world champion Grenadian Anderson Peters is presently in Europe, where he is competing on the World Athletics circuit that includes Diamond League and gold level meets. On Tuesday, June 27, 2023, Peters will take to the field at the 62nd Ostrava Golden Spike meet in Czech Republic. Among the competitors lining up against Peters will be the Czech Republic's own Jakub Vadlek, a European World Championship and Olympic medalist. According to Anderson's coach, Paul Phillips, the athlete is hitting all the targets in terms of his overall preparation. On Friday, June 30th, Peters' season continues as he heads to Switzerland for his second Diamond League meet of the season. His season continues with meets throughout Europe in preparation for the defense of his World Championship in Budapest, Hungary in late August. FC Camahan sits second on the leaderboard in the Grenada Football Association's Premier League following a 2-1 win over Sab Spartans on Saturday at Queen's Park. FC went into the half up 2-0 courtesy goals from Henson Williams and Ethan Tellisford in the 27th and 42nd minute of play. Darren Ned pulled one back for Sab in the 85th minute. The captain of the football club Camahan is Christian James.
Coming off the draw, we got a victory today, and that's just work in progress. The team played well today. We had additional players who came in, and that showed today, and we got the victory. Next weekend, we're looking to do the same set of stuff. We have a week to prepare, and we're looking to come out hard and win the next game as well.
The captain of Sab Spartans is Alden Rogers.
I think it was a good game. We fought till the last whistle. I think we, as a unit, we played well. I mean, it was only our second game into the GFA season. So coming off a win from last weekend, I think it was a pretty okay effort from the lads. Well, the training has been going well. For the season, we had 2 new inquiries into the squad. I think this squad is a very balanced squad. I think we have a couple of injuries. I think hopefully they're going to be back soon. But confidence coming out from the camp, I think my camp is very confident. I think we know what we are up against. We are up against a lot of experienced team. We're only into the Premier League division that's our 3rd year running. So I think the momentum has switched from last year into this year, and we are pretty confident coming into the GFA season.
And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Donella Hostin.
Thank you, Donella, for the sporting highlights there. And viewers, when we return, we'll have the public forecast information for you, and then a recap of the main stories.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We all care for our community. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good Monday evening, viewers. Back with your nighttime weather forecast and meteorologist Wayne Williams. Light winds and relatively fair conditions dominated the weather throughout the Eastern Caribbean today, but that is expected to change from tonight into Tuesday as a strong tropical wave is approaching the islands. Lots of cloudiness, showers, and 1 or 2 isolated thunder showers are in that system, and as it moves through the islands, it's going to bring some showers starting from tonight. It's expected to start from tonight and into maybe as long as late as Wednesday. Some slight haze to the north of the cloudiness associated with that system. We do have some haze below it also, but most of the haze to the north of it, and denser haze much further east. The remnants of what was Cindy could possibly redevelop as it moves towards the northwest. That area of cloudiness associated with the wave showing lots of activity here in it. They're expected to move through the islands, as I said, tonight. You can see some areas of intense showers, so look for some showers and be prepared for that tonight. Once those conditions remain as they are, there's no significant change. We can expect occasional showers during Monday night. Some may be heavier. Those showers are expected to start towards the latter part of the night. Winds will be northeasterly between 5 and 15 miles per hour, but with the possibility of higher gusts in and around showers. The moon, it rose just after midday at 12:26 to be exact. It's going to set at 12:41 in the early morning. Scattered showers are expected to continue into Tuesday. Winds will then shift around to become easterly between 12 and 22 miles per hour. Moderate seas, 4 to 6 foot waves. Sunrise at 5:45, sunset 6:34. Temperature will climb to around 30 and feel like 30. Port of Spain and Bridgetown are going to see occasional showers on Tuesday. The fair skies continue in Kingston, mostly cloudy. In Miami, some thunderstorms for New York, London, mostly cloudy. Back here at home, 1 or 2 isolated showers are expected to remain on Wednesday and Thursday. Some improvement from Friday onwards. It's looking good for the next weekend so far. We expect partly cloudy, becoming generally fair towards the latter part of the weekend and into the next work week. That is it for me for Monday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Remember, you can join me again right here on Tuesday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Now to end the evening news, a look at the main stories once again. Forensic pathologist autopsy has revealed manual strangulation in John T. Robinson's cause of death. The Ministry of Agriculture is to develop the local CMOS industry. Case in St. Louis and Soraya Scott crowned Mr. and Miss St. Paul's. And in sport, a successful tennis tournament hosted over the weekend. We've had details to those and other stories to look to at the public forecast information, all a part of the evening news for the 26th of June. I'm Tony Julian, along with the news and production departments. We all thank you for viewing and wish you a good night.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Cynthia Joyce Magdalene Elias, also known as Cinty, of Grove Estate, St. John, passed away on Thursday, June 1st, 2023, at the age of 76. She was the mother of Christopher and Crispin Elias in the USA, grandmother of Amira and Madison Elias in the US, mother-in-law of Jenny and Debbie Ann Elias in the USA, sister of Rennick Elias and Helen Raymond in Grenada, Louisa Elias, Ann Walker, Euris Ambrose, and Cecil St. Louis in the USA, niece of Cicely Phillips, sister-in-law of Roy Raymond, Ambrose, Rodothica Elias, and Alma St. Louis, 40 nieces and nephews including Beverly and Stephen Elias, Joseph, Jennifer, Sarona Abraham, Simon Andrews, Albert Andel, Lemrick Stanislaus, Tim Elias, and Lennon Abraham, many grandnieces and grandnephews, many other relatives and friends including Michael, Tara, Sonia, Marlene, Cuthbert Simon, Vernis, Leno, Tonti, Ophelia, Elisha, Jennifer Thomas, Roseanne Marshall, the Ashton family of Grove, the Stanislaus, Elias and Noel families of Grove Estate, the Walker family, the James family of Cloget, the Best family of Mount Granby, members of the Florida and St. Peter's Catholic Churches, and friends and neighbors of Grove Estate and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Cynthia Joyce Magdalene Elias, also known as Cinty, of Grove Estate St. John, will take place on Tuesday, 27th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Peter's Catholic Church, Grove, and interment will be at the Douglaston Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Fitzroy Calivan John, also known as Let It Go, of the United Kingdom and Trinidad, who resided at Munro Street, Victoria, St. Mark, passed away on Thursday, June 8th, 2023, at the age of 79. Left to mourn are his wife Carol Darbo John, stepdaughters Janelle and Crystal, stepson Jonelle, grandchild Kyrie, other relatives and friends including Judith, Mantis, Cherry Ann, Fuella, Marilyn, Anthea, Anne-Marie, Gracelle, Neil, Jacqueline, and neighbors and friends in the United Kingdom, Trinidad, and Victoria and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Fitzroy Calivan John, also known as Let It Go, of the United Kingdom and Trinidad, who resided at Munro Street, Victoria, St. Mark, will take place on Wednesday, 28th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Mark RC Church, Victoria, and interment will be at the Coast Guard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joseph Michael Belgrave of Tempe St. George passed away on Saturday, 27th May 2023, at the age of 87. He was the father of Ernesta Belgrave Charles in the USA and Donald Belgrave in Grenada, brother of Jerome, Theophilus and Ermine Sargent, Cecilia Aline, Elizabeth Peters, Bernadette Noel, Gordon Thomas in the USA, Godwin Thomas in Trinidad, Wainwright Belgrave and Joycelyn Belgrave Tamar in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Charles George in Grenada, grandfather of Anthony and Jeremiah Charles in the USA, uncle of many including Frederica Cummings, Lisa Francis, Keisha Johnson, Christopher, Sheldon and Blondell George, Carla George Pivot, Krista George Smart, Jamie, Alistair, Adrian and Andre Gittins, Devon Lacrette, Ricky and Diane Bailey, brother-in-law of Yvonne Thomas, Cecilia Denise George, Gastel Foster, Glenda Belgrave, Jennifer Thomas, Cheryl Belgrave and Tanya Brown. Many other close friends including Big Boy Bullen, Leonard Thomas, Swindler Jones, Eunice Tamer and many others too numerous to mention. The memorial service for the late Joseph Michael Belgrave of Tempe St. George will take place on Wednesday, 28th June at 1 p.m. Service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George's. Arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Clarenton Peter McIntyre, also known as Wallace of Byland St. Andrew, who resided in Trinidad, passed away on Saturday, 10th June 2023, at the age of 80. Left to mourn are his wife Lorna McIntyre, 5 children including Don, Devon, Kashina and Nikki McIntyre, sisters Margaret Foray and Athelia McSween, brothers Julian and Ralph Jolo McSween, nieces and nephews including Doreen Mason in Trinidad, Wesley McIntyre in Canada, Aidan Hannibal, Sharon Stanislaus, Karima and Elvis McIntyre, all in Grenada. Many grandnieces and nephews, including Junior and Shamika McIntyre, and many others too numerous to mention. Other relatives and friends, including the Foray, Humphrey, and Antoine families of Birchgrove, the McIntyre family of Bylands, Margaret de Bellet and family of Telescope, and close friends Clement and B. Roy Bridgman, Crossley Roberts and Terence Jones, and friends and neighbours of Birchgrove, Bylands, and surrounding areas, and in Trinidad. The funeral service and interment of the late Clarenton Peter McIntyre, also known as Wallace, of Byland St. Andrew, who resided in Trinidad, will take place on Wednesday, 28th June, in Trinidad. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Claudia Selma Roberts, also known as Teacher Claudia and Claudie, of Paraclete St. Andrew, who resided at Wells Road, Grenville St. Andrew, a former teacher at the Paraclete Government School, passed away on Tuesday, 6th June 2023, at the age of 58. She was the wife of Gaston Roberts, mother of Elon, Alyssa, Eldon, Michaela, and Eliza Roberts, grandmother of Zariah Gibbs, Kaylee, Davon, Daquan, Kalia, Kyra, Umaya, Omar, and Hazley, sister of Erlin Wells in Trinidad and Naylan John, mother-in-law of Kalita Roberts and Nikisha Charles, daughter-in-law of Catherine Augustine in Trinidad, sister-in-law of Edwin and Velta Mahorn, Eon and Diana Batiste, Alnick and Dominic Roberts, all in the USA, Stanley Roberts and Joseph Wells in Trinidad, Raymond, Janice and Marinus Roberts, and Lashley John, aunt of Leland John in Serbia, London Wells in Trinidad, and Jace John, niece of Claudette Taylor in Canada, Yvonne Agard, Irika, and Levi John, cousin of many including Nordia Antoine, Fabian and Damian Bartholomew, Susanna Taylor Grenade in the USA, Luann Maguire, Lorna Regis and Alan Agard, caregiver Melissa Fraser. Many other relatives and friends including Eudora Charles, Phyllis Alexander, Merlin Braffett, Asha Lessie, Lympha Lewis, the Ramdeen and Panchu families, the pastor and members of the Mirabeau Pentecostal Church, the principal, staff and students of the Paraclete Government School, the president and members of the Grenada Union of Teachers, the Honorable David Andrew and staff at the Ministry of Education, and many other family and friends. The funeral of the late Claudia Selma Roberts, also known as Teacher Claudia and Claudie, of Paraclete St. Andrew, who resided at Wells Road, Grenville St. Andrew, will take place on Wednesday, 28th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Mirabeau Pentecostal Church, and entombment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Kim McSween, also known as Kim Cooper, of Grandance, who resided at New Hampshire St. George, passed away on Monday, 29th May 2023, at the age of 49. She was the mother of Terry Cooper, Shawntae McSween, Dwayne Williams Jr., and Swiraj McSween, adopted mother of Malian Lessie, Shakila Duncan, Trina Celestine, and Giovanna Antwine, grandmother of Daviel, David Jr., Adira, Adrian, Tristan, and Ishmael, stepdaughter of Gloria Toussaint in the USA, sister of many including Charles Toussaint in the USA, Edwin Cooper, also known as Ello, Christopher Joseph, Crispin Augustine in Canada, Sean Best, Nigel Cooper, Damien in the USA, Cathian Cooper Jacob, Christine Felix, and Daniela McSween, adopted sister of John McGilvery, sister-in-law of Marcia Toussaint, Erin Jacob, Merrill Lohar, Lynn Cato, Joseph, Avril Best, and Lennox Felix, mother-in-law of Siobhan Jack, close friend of Sylvan McIntyre, many aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, Other relatives and close friends including the McSween, Cooper, Charles, Superville and Stevenson families, Diane Mark and family, Lennox John, the 1990 graduating class of the Grenada Boys Secondary School, the management and staff of Spice Island Beach Resort, the pastor and members of the Church of God Worldwide Mission, Nigel Lacroix and family, Elon Robinson and family, and friends and neighbors of Grand Anse, New Hampshire and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Kim McSween, also known as Kim Cooper, of Grand Anse, who resided at New Hampshire St. George, will take place on Thursday, 29th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Gateway Assembly Point Saline St. George, and interment will be at the Grand Anse Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Irene Anastasia St. Hilaire, also known as Mother, of Dudmar St. David, a well-known market vendor, passed away on Friday 26 May 2023 at the age of 95. She was the mother of Mary St. Hilaire, Jennifer Mitchell, Cynthia Marichou Phillip, Douglas St. Hilaire, Dominic Mitchell and Keisha St. Hilaire Licorice, grandmother of John Greenwich, Ernesto, Orlando, Leanna and Aquino Romaine, Shondell and Alicia Mitchell, Donnelly Albert, Rochelle Franklin, Wendy Ann Greenwich, Kira and Kira Jaganot, and Marissa Sleeman, great-grandmother of many including Naisha St. Hilaire, Kizzy, Akim and Sasha Greenwich, Amaya Jaganot, Reginald Aidan Ferguson, Delon Mitchell, and Neon Licorice, great-great-grandmother of many, mother-in-law of Hugh Romaine, Ian Phillip, and Nigel Licorice, sister-in-law of Rosa Mitchell, aunt of many in the USA and Grenada including Alan, Ricky, Calvin, Velda, Jenilyn, Joan, Hermelin, and Joseph Mitchell. Many other close relatives and friends including Reno Mitchell, Legas, Louis Victor and family, the Honoré, Let, Mitchell, Hazard and Francis families, the St. Hilaire family of Carriacou and Crowshoe, and friends and neighbors of Dudmar and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Irene Anastasia St. Hilaire, also known as Mother, of Dudmar St. David, will take place on Thursday, 29th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Vincent's Pentecostal Church, and interment will be at the Windsor Forest Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Paul Elrene Phillip, also known as Pablo, Bunnyleg and Bug, of Glebe Street, Satires, who resided at La Fortune St. Patrick, marine biologist and environmental consultant for climate change, and past teacher of McDonald's College, the Grenada Boys Secondary School, and the St. Rose Modern Secondary School. Passed away on Tuesday, June 6, 2023, at the age of 68. He is survived by his partner, Rosa Evis Alexander. He was the father of Marcel in the USA, Andy, Shay, Devon, also known as Blacks, Kellon, Michelle, Nasha, Nadja, Delon, Ashney, Ashel, Shondi, Elrene, Joshua, Rachel, Donna, and Debbie. Brother of Rosemary Patterson in the UK, Hazelan, Hector, Glitter and Pauline in Grenada, Joyce, Winston, Joycelyn and Gloria in the USA, Raymond, Grace, and Jacqueline in Trinidad. Grandfather of Shay Jr., Omaya, Tamaya, Azariah, Carlos, Sydney, Namali, Naisha, Octavia, Ravon, Adaya, Wadden, O'Brien, Kalia, Kasaya, Annabella, and Andy Jr. Uncle of many including Kelly, Daryl, Stefana, Jamelia, Melissa, Tonya, Bushies, Richard, and Kirk. Brother-in-law of many including Rose, Walter, Bernadette, Teresa, Geneva and Theodore, Antonia and Yolanda Alexander. Many other relatives and friends including Mr. Linford and Mrs. Jeanette, Miss Deborah, Mr. Brown and family, the MacDonald family of Hermitage, Andre, Span, Kenny, Jonelle, Toby, Mr. Joseph, Sonia, Anne-Marie, Dolliver and Alima, the Courtney family of Paraclete, the GEF Small Grant, past and current co-workers of Fisheries, the Environment, Spectro and Small Grant, and friends and neighbours of Sataz, La Fortune and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Paul Elreen Phillip, also known as Pablo, Bunnyleg and Bug, of Glebe Street, Sataz, who resided at La Fortune St. Patrick, will take place on Thursday, 29th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick R.C. Church, Sataz, and interment will be at the Morley Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Moses Gary James of Chantilly St. Andrew, who resided at Duquesne St. Mark, passed away on Tuesday, May 30th, 2023, at the age of 90. He was the father of Marvelyn Fletcher, father-in-law of Davis Fletcher, grandfather of Marissa, Max Vaughn, and Maxine, great-grandfather of Micaiah and Malik, uncle of 6 including Brenda and Azra in Canada, and Grace and Anita in Trinidad. Many cousins, other relatives, and close friends including Oris, Shanika, Larisha, Steve, Shawnee, Marilyn, Hanif, Paula and Joshua, Kester, Carol, Willard, Tina, Manu, Umari Forrester, the Diali, Slinger, Downs, and Williams families of Paraclete, the Gurry and James families of Cloget, the pastor and members of the Duquesne Bible Holiness Church, and friends and neighbors of Duquesne, Birch Grove, Cloget, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Moses Gary James of Chantilly St. Andrew, who resided at Duquesne St. Mark, will take place on Friday, June 30th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the New Testament Church of God, Birch Grove St. Andrew, according to Bible Holiness rites, and interment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Joseph Williams, also known as Joe and Hamilton, of Caliste, who resided at Lansopine St. George and in the United Kingdom, passed away on Monday, 12th June 2023, at the age of 84, left to mourn his wife Sybil Williams, children Ian, Anne, Ivan, and Gemma, nephews Ian Bernard, Diane, and Colin, sister-in-law Clara Simmons, son-in-law Byron Campbell, grandchildren Cameron, Reese, Haley, Hatui, Fannin, and Aaron. Other relatives and family, including Keisha and family, Monica Mark and family, Norma McQuilkin of Caliste, Geraldine Lane, Leslie and Brenda Scott, Clovis and Martina Dubisett in the UK, Anne and Michael Entwine of Woodlands, Samuel Mapson, Lyra Fortune and Tracy, Teresa Stevenson and family, Lyris Buckmeyer, Dr. Spencer, Dr. Martin, Dr. Carrie Kennedy in the UK, Deborah St. Bernard, Renato James, Mark Roberts, Oral Murrell, Rundle Pear, Alsted Cardew, Ramon Ramdeen, Daniel Caliste, Sheena Williams, Cameron Penny, and Junior Pancho. The funeral of the late Joseph Williams, also known as Joe and Hamilton, of Caliste, who resided at Lansopine St. George and in the United Kingdom, will take place on Monday, July 3rd at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Blessed Sacrament Church according to Anglican rites, and interment will be at the Grand Arms Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Vernice Marichaud, also known as Sister of Vendham St. George, passed away on Thursday, 15th June 2023, at the age of 85. She was the mother of Hermie and Johnny in Grenada and Irva in the USA, adopted mother of Everton in Trinidad, grandmother of Houston, Ciron, Richie, Talia, Shondell, Troy, Tracy, Giovanna, Kathian, and Jediah, great-grandmother of Anaya, Therese, Dory, and Jediah, sister of Brenda and Mikey in Grenada, Leroy in Trinidad, and Zephyrin in the USA, mother-in-law of Cephas, Alan, Joanna, and Margaret, sister-in-law of Jeremiah, many nieces and nephews including Rhea, Risha, Hazelan, Kareen Dale, Joey, Nadine, Kurt, Wendell, Gary, and Randy. Other relatives and close friends including Zai, Philo, LaShawn, Gladys, Rita, Sister Mary, Lynette and family, Narissa and family, Raphael and the Andrews family of Mount Parnassus, the Batiste family of Boca, Willis and in Trinidad, Janice and the Francis family, Doreen and family, Joan and family, Dada and family, the Andrews family of Willis and in Trinidad, members of the Vendham Pentecostal Church, and neighbors and friends of Vendham and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Vernice Marichaud, also known as Sister, of Vendham St. George, will take place on Monday, July 3rd at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Beaulieu New Testament Church of God, and interment will be at the Vendham Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Bernard Buckmeyer, also known as Strongman, of Pedmotor St. David, who resided at Montgelou St. George, passed away on Friday, 23rd June 2023, at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Bernard Buckmeyer, also known as Strongman, of Pedmotor St. David, who resided at Montgelou St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Catherine Lucille Frederick of Bellevue St. David, who resided in Canada, passed away on Saturday, 17th June 2023, at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Catherine Lucille Frederick of Bellevue St. David, who resided in Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Pearl Agnes Bernard, née Fletcher, also known as Mother, of Munro Street, Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Snell Hall and Lower Morley St. Patrick and in Ontario, Canada, passed away on Tuesday, June 13th, 2023, at the age of 100. The funeral arrangements for the late Pearl Agnes Bernard, née Fletcher, also known as Mother, of Munro Street, Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Snell Hall and Lower Morley St. Patrick and in Ontario, Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Emile Paul Jules of Carriacou, who resided at Mount Craven St. Patrick, passed away on Monday, 19th June 2023, at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Emile Paul Jules of Carriacou, who resided at Mount Craven St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. WRC Leslie and Jacinta Braveboy of Lauriston, Carriacou, passed away on Wednesday, 21st June 2023, at the age of 53. The funeral arrangements for the late WRC Leslie and Jacinta Braveboy of Lauriston, Carriacou, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Carol Norma John of Lower Capital, Birchgrove St. Andrew, passed away on Sunday, 18th June 2023, at the age of 43. The funeral arrangements for the late Carol Norma John of Lower Capital, Birchgrove St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joy Veronica Ned of Grosse Pointe St. Mark passed away on Friday, 16th June 2023, at the age of 70. The funeral arrangements for the late Joy Veronica Ned of Grosse Pointe St. Mark will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Peter Densley Martin, also known as Parley, of Chantimel, who resided at Plains St. Patrick, died on Monday 12th June 2023 at the age of 80. The funeral arrangements for the late Peter Densley Martin, also known as Parley, of Chantimel, who resided at Plains St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Monica Bernadette Samuel Alexis, also known as Monix's, Monix or Young Girl, of La Femme, who resided at Wester Hall St. David and in Trinidad, passed away on Friday 16th June 2023 at the age of 81. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Bernadette Samuel Alexis, also known as Monix's, Monix or Young Girl, of La Femme, who resided at Wester Hall St. David and in Trinidad, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Garvin Sean McGilvery of Beausejour St. George died on Wednesday, June 14th, 2023, at the age of 39. The funeral arrangements for the late Garvin Sean McGilvery of Beausejour St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Aaron John, also known as AJ, Aquila, and Baker, of Mondelez St. George, died on Sunday, 11th June 2023, at the age of 73. The funeral arrangements for the late Aaron John, also known as AJ, Aquila, and Baker, of Mondelez St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Hubert Ewart Braffett, also known as Bert, Campaign, and Braff, of Monjaloo, who resided at Woburn St. George, passed away on Tuesday 13th June 2023 at the age of 73. The funeral arrangements for the late Hubert Ewart Braffett, also known as Bert, Campaign, and Braff, of Monjaloo, who resided at Woburn St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joseph Hagley, also known as Bonnie, of Bellevue St. David, who resided in the USA, passed away on Thursday, 15th June 2023, at the age of 62. The funeral arrangements for the late Joseph Hagley, also known as Bonnie, of Bellevue St. David, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Gertrude Thompson, also known as Alona George of Chantimel St. Patrick, who resided at Fontenoy St. George, passed away on Tuesday 13th June 2023 at the age of 75. The funeral arrangements for the late Gertrude Thompson, also known as Alona George of Chantimel St. Patrick, who resided at Fontenoy St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Joseph Lewis, also known as Choiceman, of Florida St. John, who resided at Coast Guard St. Mark, passed away on Saturday 10th June 2023 at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Joseph Lewis, also known as Choiceman, of Florida St. John, who resided at Coast Guard St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Nicola Cara George of Rosehill St. Patrick passed away on Thursday, 8th June 2023, at the age of 39. The funeral arrangements for the late Nicola Cara George of Rosehill St. Patrick will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Cathy St. John Worm of Grand Anse St. George, who resided in New York, USA, passed away on Thursday, 17th February 2022 in New York at the age of 50. A funeral service was held on Saturday, 26th February 2022 in Brooklyn, New York. The funeral arrangements for the service to be held in Grenada will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Augustus David King, also known as Zab, Beggs and Augustus, of Bylands, who resided at Subi St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 3rd June 2023, at the age of 70. The funeral arrangements for the late Augustus David King, also known as Zab, Beggs and Augustus, of Bylands, who resided at Subi St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lakwa Brothers Funeral Home. Monica Mary Williams of Tempe St. George, an employee of Nawassa, passed away on Saturday, May 30th, 2023 in Trinidad, at the age of 54. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Mary Williams of Tempe St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lakwa Brothers Funeral Home. Imelda Lena Batiste, also known as Mama, of Chantimel St. Patrick, who resided in London, England, died on Monday, May 1st, 2023 in London, at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Imelda Lena Batiste, also known as Mama, of Chantimel St. Patrick, who resided in London, England, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Pastor Dr. Adrian Leroy Marast, also known as Bill, of Hope City St. Andrew, passed away on Friday, May 5th, 2023, at the age of 75. The funeral arrangements for the late Pastor Dr. Adrian Leroy Marast, also known as Bill, of Hope City St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lakwa Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.